I enjoy finding games that no one else is talking about. And today, I think I found the crown jewel of them all. I am the Game Collector, and this is Second Opinion Games. And today, I do the review of Holy Invasion of Privacy Badman. What did I do to deserve this? For the PSP. Seriously, that's the freaking name of the game. This game comes to us via NIS America, which is kind of like Atlas, in a company that likes to bring weird Japanese games over to America or even Europe and just tries to confuse our little brains. This is not an epic RPG, but it kind of feels like it has roots in that. This is a build-your-own dungeon tower defense game. What are you defending? Well, your main character has a little henchman, aka vampire-looking creature, that you have to keep alive in order to keep playing the game. Basically, you build your dungeon, you stick him in a spot, and when heroes come knocking at the door, you have to kill them before they reach and bring your vampire-like creature back home, where then he dies pretty quickly, I guess, because he doesn't even put up a fight. He just literally goes with them right away. So it's up to you to keep him safe. Now that does sound pretty easy, but it's really, really not. This is one of the most difficult games I think I've played. Partially because the learning curve here is insanely difficult, and partially because I have no idea what the game wants me to do. To help you learn this game a little bit, there is some training modes, and I recommend you at least go through the first 5 to kind of get the basic understanding of the game. There's also an almanac that lets you look through all the different beasts that you've sort of seen so far, and gives you stats and loadouts. Now, the manual here is very important, so make sure you pick up a copy with it, because it's about 26 pages full of very much details on how to play the game. So, you're gonna need it, and you're gonna even want to read it. So why go through all of this work for a very weird, localized Japanese game? Well, it is a ton of freaking fun! You start off just building your maze somewhat randomly. Then you'll see these slime creatures appear, and they'll reproduce and give some of their energy to other blocks beside it. When you see them turn more white, you could unlock some lizard men or some other creatures. This game is super, super hard to explain, but just by watching me, you might get a little bit of an idea how to play. Eventually, the hero will come. So, we gotta take our little demon guy and move him to a safe place. And then the first couple heroes, at the very least, will go down fast and die very quickly. So, the idea is to conserve what's called dig power in this game, because they'll give you better creatures in the future. And at the same time, use the dig power to open up as many creatures as possible. It's kind of a weird balancing act. Now, you can move your little digger thing to the very entrance and basically bring on the people faster, giving you better time bonus, but I don't recommend actually doing this at all, because your creatures reproduce, and if you get a better time bonus, chances are it's not going to be nearly as good as the creature bonus, which is how strong your army is. Because if you wait longer, they'll reproduce even more, giving you more of this bonus. The more bonus, the more dig power. The more dig power left over, the more you could upgrade your creatures, the stronger your army can become. Meaning, in the very first couple levels, means if you're going to even last to level 5, or if you're going to end up beating the entire game. So if you find yourself on level 3 and continuously come up with 36 dig power, just hit reset, go back to the title screen, and start all over again. Fair enough. Now there's also certain maneuvers you can do to summon different creatures. If you have a block sort of stranded by itself and it turns white, it could open up a portal. Also feed it some souls, and then you have an even stronger demon. However, sometimes these demons don't really cooperate with each other, so you kind of have to plan for that. Matter of fact, all of your creatures sometimes live independently and sometimes just slaughter each other so they can grow stronger themselves. So there is a lot to manage here, and that's what makes this game so much fun. It certainly isn't the graphics. As you can see, the graphics are kind of a big mixed bag here. Mostly a bag of 8-bit weird. But the game is super good. The music also not something to write home about. The whole game itself can be beaten in under 30 minutes if you know how. So that's really not even a lasting point. The point is how to build your tunnels. Do you want branching paths? Do you want super demons, or do you just want to go with all lizard men? Do you want to load up on vampires? Do you want to collect tons of souls? Everything is up to you, and this weird balancing act is extremely addictive. Sometimes you'll be on a winning streak, and then the very next game you won't be able to do anything. It'll keep you playing again and again and again. And even though you can beat the game in about 30 minutes if you know what you're doing, just like I mentioned earlier, chances are you're going to be playing for hours before you even figure it out, and you're never going to have a bad time doing this. Sometimes you might get a little frustrated, but you're not going to have a bad time. You're just going to have fun, which is what games are meant to be. This is a perfect portable game because of the short runtime, and you could always just put on pause and start up a new game whenever you want. This is a totally perfect game for the PSP, and I can't believe it actually made it over here. And I say that loosely because I think it only came out in Europe and not really so many copies here in America. But the PSP's region free, so if you could track down this game for under $40, definitely do so. And when you start killing these heroes left and right, eventually you'll make it to the massive super dude hero in golden armor, and he is going to lay waste to all of your creatures. You're going to go in full-on panic mode as he just mows down your creatures as powerful as you have them, as fast as he possibly can. Eventually he'll catch up with your little demon and start bringing him to the surface. So then you'll frantically try and bring more creatures to life just to get in his way. Eventually you will beat the game. And it gives you a code then to hit left and right a whole bunch of times at the title screen to change the game once more into a much harder game, and also changes the caption at the top of the screen. Holy Home Invasion Robbery Badman, why does this always happen to me? It even changes the name of the game and completely how it's played. This time your enemies, aka heroes, are super strong, and just makes me super frustrated. I usually don't play this version because it's just too darn hard. I find it difficult enough to play the normal game. So I'll just leave it at that. Playing this game is one of the best times I ever had with my PSP, and it's a shame that no one is talking about it, probably because it is just so weird and possibly very rare. So if you see it in the wild for under $40, definitely pick it up. And I know $40 is a lot for a PSP game, but this is the perfect pick up and play game on the PSP, and I guarantee you, you will have a great time playing it. I certainly did, and I love it, and it is perfect in my collection of PSP games. But that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching. hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I am working my butt off to bring you games you either never heard of or are completely underreported on. In the future, I'm even going to bring you guys some 3DO games that I guarantee you no one is talking about but me. So, until later, I'll see you again, guys.